Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us and welcome you all to the live international webinar organized by CGC Janjeri. My name is Kamal and I look up the International Affairs Department of CGC. So basically, we provide some international exposure programs to the students here, like the exchange programs, some credit transfer programs. So today, in the context of this, we are going to have the people from University of Tasmania, Australia. Students, it has been rightly said that education is not just the preparation for life. Education is life itself. So today in this context, from the education industry, we would like to welcome Dr. Rose. She's the MBA Director of Tasmania School of Business and Economics. Dr. Rose has contributed to the research with a number of conference papers and has total 7 publications. Hello, Dr. Rose.
Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you online again, Kamal. Thank you. And Nitin,
Thank you,
hello.
ma'am. It's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
Hello, Rose and Kamal. Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Nitin. How are you? Hello, Mr. Nitin. How are you?
Thank you, Kamal. I'm perfect. Thank you. And hello to all the students listening to us.
I would like to inform the student that Mr. Nitin represents University of Tasmania for South Asia, and he's the country manager for this regarding the admission and all the purpose. So I would like to ask Mr. Nitin, how's the lockdown been so far to you? You're in India, and you have seen the conditions. How this scenario been to you?
Thank you, Kamal. It's not been very great. I cannot say that it was great. It has been a period. It's been a stressful period for the entire country, for the entire world itself. But I think we have managed to cope up with this. And soon, I think if the vaccine is out, we will be able to overcome this. So one thing I would like to say to all the students, never lose the hope. There is a sunshine after it. This period will pass. We'll definitely be able to accomplish everything, whatever we have dreamed of doing in life. And to give an insight about it. Why do I say that? Because this seminar and seminars like this are a beginning towards a new start. People in your region, I've seen many of them have gone to Australia or to different countries, and they're doing really very good in their career. So they shouldn't lose the dream of going abroad. I think study abroad is there. We are making them to overcome this. They will be able to do this. Yeah, over to you, Kamal.
I think this is a new normal. We can see that. And Dr. Rose, how's the situation in Australia? How's the things? How you people are managing in university?
Actually, we're doing okay. I think all of the students are online and interacting quite well online and getting used to that environment as the norm at the moment. And even to the extent that we've been having speakers from all over the world join us. So we have the advantage of the immediacy of an online environment, whereas normally we'd have to wait for, to speak to people. So that's one, a little bit of an extra outcome for us. But the students are smiling and happy and learning and doing their assignments and talking together in groups. So I believe we're doing okay. And the sun's shining today.
We should thanks to technology. We should thanks to technology because of this,
Oh, indeed.
At least something we as students are learning. So
yes,
I request Dr. Rose now you can proceed with your presentation about this wonderful topic, strategic management and becoming a manager after the MBA. This is, I think students going to learn a lot from you. So please proceed with your presentation.
Do I have a copy of the slides here or do I have to get them myself? Because I haven't got them open. I was expecting them to be shared on screen. Is that not the case?
Yeah.
Rose, you'll have to share it by yourself on the screen.
I have to share them. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just one moment. I'll get them open then. I was sorry about that. I expected that we would have them shared from you as the. So that's okay. I'll just find them. In the meantime, I'll grab them up. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Might take me a little while. Maybe have a chat while I find them, and it won't be too long. Okay, I seem to have them now, so just make sure that they're the right ones, and then I can share my screen. Okay. Now, the only other thing I have here is with my computer, sometimes it is a little bit of a problem. So it might become a little bit of a problem when when I do show these. So if the computer does drop out, I will just come straight back again. So hopefully it will not drop out, because we have got the online situation. It's sometimes a little bit heavy on the internet. So welcome. So to start with, at the Tasmanian School of Business and Economics, we have 5 academic discipline areas, so separate discipline areas, which include the accounting area, economics, finance, management, entrepreneurship and innovation, and marketing. And we've also got the Australian Institute of Health Services Management as well. So you can see that we are covering the, if you like, the core elements of what a business requires. To operate successfully in any environment, you need those basic underpinning skills. And our university is one of Australia's oldest universities. It was established in 1890, so we've been around a long time. And we have campuses in Hobart, which is the capital, down at the south end of the island. We have a campus in Launceston, which is at the north end of the island, and also in Burnie, which is the northwest of the island. We've also got a campus in Sydney, and we do run teaching programs in Hong Kong and Shanghai. So for a small little island and an older university, we have a very good reach. So our university is also ranked in the top 2% of universities with the 2019 academic ranking for world universities. And also in the top 350 universities in the world by all major ranking systems. So the course that I look after currently is the MBA International course. And this course is designed to skill people up, and it's a sort of a refresher course, or it suits those who've just finished their undergraduate degree and do not have any expertise in management or work experience. You can go directly from your undergraduate degree to the MBA, as we call it. It does give the students who take this course on the core units in that general MBA area, the ones that I was just mentioning, and that's those management skills, international trade, relationships such as organisational behaviour, human resource comes into that as well, accounting, strategy, which is vitally important and the topic that I teach, and entrepreneurship, which of course we all need in today's world. And students can then select a specialisation. So once they've got their core units or during that sort of study program, they can start to think about where they want to go in their specialisation area. And a lot of people, will wait until near the end of that MBA experience to determine where they want to go. But there are specialisations in marketing, in finance, in entrepreneurship, and business research. Now, business research requires that you have a distinction average to continue in that area. And in that specialisation, you would also undertake a research in the area of your interest. And so we did include a national and international business experience, but that of course now is a virtual environment. And so the strategic management process is actually where I teach. And so it's a very interesting area because at the end of the day, if you're managing an organisation and you're the strategic manager, you're the CEO, or you're one of the board members, or you actually are the team or a member of the management team, then you have got with you, you've got the expertise of people who've got accounting, economics, marketing, human resource management, entrepreneurship, and other generous business management skills. But if you're the CEO, if you're the manager, and you've got your MBA, you've exited with that, and you've progressed through the business to become the top person or a member of the top team, then you need to understand how to apply what you've learned. And so what we do in our strategic management study is we actually look at many real live case studies. What this does is it allows the students to evaluate a real company with real problems and real people that is current, and for them to then realize what would be the opportunities for solutions for change or growth or recovery or whatever that situation might be. And so it's a very exciting outcome, but that outcome can't happen unless you've got that core level of knowledge that you get from the MBA program. And because you are exposed to the underpinnings of business, such as the accounting, economics, finance, human resource again, and entrepreneurship, and just general management skills, because you're exposed to all of those as part of your learning outcomes, your overall understanding of business is very generalist, but it's extremely good for any business. So it doesn't matter where you want to go in business, you've got that core set of skills. So you can work in any organization as an MBA graduate and understand that business in terms of what you've learned. And any manager who has got an underpinning of accounting and economics and that understanding of that sort of financial part of the business is an advantage to any business. So our courses provide that. So I've got a couple of case studies here for you. And what I would like is to see whether or not you can answer the questions. I've got your, I think I've got your chat here. So if you feel like answering the questions that I've posed, then you'll be just like our strategic management students near the end of their MBA, and they can answer these questions. So let's test you. I'll read them out and then we'll see what your answers are. So the first one on the left here is Bell Finance is a proprietary limited company which provides specialist finance advice to corporate clients. And for the past 5 years, it has been very successful. In July 2019, it acquired another finance company, and since then, it has noticed that its clients have diminished. So the management team are unsure why. So let's ask you a question. How do you think this has happened? Why? What would cause the customers or the clients to diminish? The Bell Finance was very successful for 5 years, and it just acquired a new company. So it has taken over a business that possibly was in that same industry or the same environment, if you like, had the same type of customers and was offering perhaps the same type of service. Why would not it be more able to serve its customers and therefore get a bigger customer share? And it, of course, it acquired its customers from the other organization it took over. So why is it that their customers are diminishing? Any answers? Please feel free to put them into chat, and if you have them, I can read them out. So the next question is, what are the business evaluation relevant to? What would you evaluate in this case? And the next question is, what actions would you suggest that the organization undertakes? And how would you know whether or not your actions have worked? So the first part of this is clearly, firstly, why is it happening? What is this? Why is this changing? And how do you know that this is a permanent change, or is this just some shift in the market? And could it have been because of your acquisition of the other business that has precipitated this change? And so this is part of your evaluation. So the second question there is, what are the business evaluation? What is the relevance that you would put to your evaluation here? What would you evaluate and how would you? And then once you've got that data, now you've got to decide what to do with it. So as an MBA student, and doing strategic management with all of those underpinning units that you've already studied, you could tell an organization in this situation what you would analyze as their actions to take. And in some respects, the outcomes of what you would suggest are current, because we're teaching the current information. It is live, because this is probably a real organization that we've used to make our courses practical and applied. And you get the idea that you're actually able to make some change or some decisions for a business and to help them. So it's a real buzz to get that analysis working. And then when you've done this, when you've decided what it is you need to do, how do you know that you've actually done the right thing? Now you'll learn all of that. So let's have a look at the next case study. So this is another business, Grassroots. It's a Tasmanian business. It's a sole trader. And they have a gardening business owned by John and Leonie Smith. Now in January 2020, this year, John and Leonie opened a Melbourne Grassroots branch, and the business has grown substantially. So they're unable to manage the pace of growth, and they ask you, an MBA graduate and business consultant now, that's what you are, what they should do. So what you're going to look at is, what are the key factors that this business should have considered before opening a new branch? And you'll be able to advise them of what perhaps they could have done, but they've already taken that step. So now you're going to say, what are the potential problems with the business growth, and how can they avoid any future issues that they might not have perceived? And then what should they do now to protect their business? So you're in a position after an MBA to advise all of those aspects. Excuse me. Just turn my phone off. And I'm always on call. So as a business person, you'll get a phone call out of the blue. So, and it could have been another client asking for some help. So there's an example of what you'll get after the end of an MBA. So I think if you can tell me your answers, and perhaps we can evaluate those, then this is what an MBA will give you. So as I say, the learning outcomes for the MBA are these things. So you'll have your understanding of competitiveness, acquisitions, corporate level strategies to help leaders in their industries grow. You'll have a very good understanding of entrepreneurship and innovation. You can make decisions based on the data that you've collected, and you'll know what type of data to collect. I guess this is key to any analysis, is that if you don't get the right information and the right data, then the decision that you've made is not based on the facts. So you need to be able to understand what to collect and how to collect it, and then how to analyze it. So all of this is part of that process of getting that competence, that inherent understanding of business. So throughout your experiences in study and your interaction with live businesses and your lecturers with their own expertise in various fields, you're going to get that underpinning and be able to make those decisions, and also take your own step into your own business if you feel that way. And that's an exciting opportunity for you to look at building your own empire. So you'll also be looking at the accounting framework. And as I've mentioned before, that is an extremely important area for anybody in business, particularly with regards to the legislation of the country or the location that you live in and operate in. And if you decide you've got a business that is across borders or across countries, then the frameworks that you're operating under and the legislative requirements are going to be very important. So local requirements for reporting your accounting actions and activity is something that every manager needs to know. You don't need to know everything about it. You don't need to know how to do it necessarily, because you will have people that can do that for you. But you do need to know where there's an error perhaps, and what you would need to do to recover. And this is what you'll learn as an MBA student and graduate. So again, consumers and the decision making, what do you do with your consumers? Do you change your your product to match the consumers, or do you market that differently? And you'll learn all of these things. So your management and leadership of your business, or a consultant business, will give you that as well. And then, of course, there's the micro and the macroeconomics and more. So it's extremely diverse, yet concentrated in all of the aspects of business. And so just to finish off, why would you study that? Of course, well, it's a very strong graduate outcome for employment. 90% of the people on a graduate program, such as the MBA at UTAS, will receive an average of $100,000 salary. We're the only business school in Tasmania, and we've got a very strong, very broad network with government and other businesses across the state and the country. We've got an extremely good corporate internship and work integrated learning. That's what that means, work integrated learning opportunities. We've had over 400 students in the past couple of years out in the market, if you like, working with organisations. And they do they work with not-for-profits, profits, government, all sorts of businesses. Our course is recognised by all of the major professional bodies. You've got access to, as I say, all of the academics with the skills and the background and the knowledge and the expertise in the areas they're teaching. So it's a good study place as well. It's a beautiful environment. It's very clean, safe, uncrowded, no negative distractions. And we have a very beautifully culturally diverse international environment, great teaching facilities and state-of-the-art technologies. So as I say, you will get that strategic thinking, critical thinking, evidence-based ability at the end of your degree to go onto the job market with a fantastic cool toolkit at your disposal. So I will pass over to others, I think, at this stage to talk about the UTAS. I'm not sure if I'm doing this part, but I will go to the questions page and invite any questions from anyone. Thank you.
Kamal, do we take the questions at the moment, or you want me to do a introduction about what University of Tasmania is?
Shall we go back to that? The benefits and the applications, that's just general information about the programs. Or do we want to go to the questions?
Yeah. What do you say, Kamal?
Am I audible, sir?
You are audible, yeah. What do you suggest?
Yeah.
Shall we take questions?
I think we can take the questions as of now, and then later we can see about your university programs.
No problem.
So we have
no problem.
Students have asked the questions like, doctors, as we know that the present market is a very competitive market for even the jobs as well. So how the students should be ready for this highly competitive world? Like, what are the key areas they should be focused on?
I'm sorry, Kamal, I missed the first part of that question.
I asked that the present scenario is very competitive. The present market is very competitive for the for the students, for a lot of employees as well. But
Yeah.
how you suggest the students? What are the key areas they should focus during the study MBA? What are the major things they should focus on their skills so that they can compete this present world?
That's a very good question. Thank you for that. It's always going to be competitive in the market for an employment situation, and I think this is why often an MBA is a better course than some, because you've got that general basis, which means you can be employed in a variety of fields. So you don't have to be employed in a particular area. You have got that base level and understanding of a lot of business requirements. So you could apply for a number of different roles. And even if you are specializing in a field, that doesn't stop you from actually working in a variety of other fields with that specialist skill to sort of to help your employer. So for instance, I often say to students, if you've got a specialization in finance and you've got an MBA, that means you've got a double opportunity there. So the employer might not put you into a strictly finance role, but you might be working with the finance team because you've got all of the business background as well. So I think being competitive it is true. You are going to be competing, but because you've got that um, uh, really broad and deep understanding of business in a general sense, you're probably more employable in that respect because you can go anywhere in a business. I hope that answers that question for you.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, do you think that it's important for an MBA student to be a good speaker, to have an excellent communication skills along with academic skills? Because the present world is very competitive, as we have discussed. So, is it important for an MBA to be a, the good public speaker, confident and excellent communication skills?
Absolutely, and that's going to be part of every single unit that we deliver because we require the students to converse in team assessments. We ask them, and particularly now, we're asking them to converse online, and that's going to be a fantastic skill going forward in the world that we have today because an online environment is going to be with us for a long time, and being able to converse online and to understand the rule taking with regards to um, a conversation or professional consulting, we embed that in all of our units. Plus, we have the interaction with the real world, so the students get the opportunity to try their communication skills with the real business, but under the safety of being a student. So when they leave, they've had the opportunity to talk to businesses and interact with them as close as we can, given the environment we have today. But even so, they will be talking to business leaders and lots of people from business. So they will be honing their communication skills whilst they're learning. And so when they leave, they've got a very good understanding of what their communication style is and how to communicate better and improve. And, that sort of process they will do over time themselves. But everything we do is it is aligned to what the real world looks like and to build those skills. But communicating is across every unit, absolutely.
Indeed. Indeed, ma'am. So, ma'am, as we know that the COVID-19 has affected the entire world, a lot of business, a lot of corporates have suffered from this, and there are a lot of we can see that downfall in the business like profit and loss statements also. So, how do you see what are the current strategies the corporates are using to survive the industry is using to survive for a long term to fulfill their long term goals? What is the current market situation?
That's a very good question as well. And although I'm probably not able to categorically see into the future, but I can say that what we teach students is to make evaluations of situations and put that together with the data that they've gathered. So you don't just make a decision about what's going to happen in the future based on what you've got from your own analysis. As a business person, you would be looking at the full industry that you're working in. You will gather your data from a variety of areas, and then you'll make a decision based on that. But effectively, what we could say is that the situation now means people must be more alert to environment changes, perhaps, or the industry changes. When I say environment, I mean the business environment and not the actual world environment. But we are looking at more, the businesses must be able to interact quickly. They must be responsive and they must be able to change. Now, we've always taught that, but I guess what we would say now is that we would concentrate on an ability for an organisation to be agile. And that means that the business might be more diverse. So instead of being in a particular industry, I think what we will see is that businesses will have more than one stream of product or service, and that they can shift quickly if the environment needs it. So as soon as we get through COVID-19, there might be all sorts of opportunities that as a business student, you could recognize and advise your owners of your business and then move into that quickly. But I think the pace of change has changed, and businesses today have to be responsive. So I think that's the key. The key to being able to survive in today's world is to respond and to do that quickly.
Okay. Ma'am, as we know that the MBA students after the pass of the MBA, they will be working with some of them working with tourism industry, some of them associate with the finance, with some of them working with banks, and some of them working with maybe the corporates, the highly reputed corporates. So, what do you think in the upcoming 3 or 4 years? What are the career options? What are the most demanding career options for an MBA student? What are the career prospects they can work for the students?
I think it's dependent on the student's desire, I think, which because as an MBA student, you have got that ability to work in any environment. Business, no matter where you are, is business. So whether you're running a school, running a tourism operation, you're running a swimming pool, or whatever it is that you're running, the ultimate uh, management of that is still business. So an MBA student can decide where they want to work. And this is the beauty of it. They can say, I'm very interested in economics. So I will work in that field as an MBA graduate. Or I really love tourism and I absolutely want to travel. And so I want to be in that field. So there's no reason for the student to pinpoint them into what is available as a job, but more so just to consider what they would like to do and follow that pathway, because they can work in any business. And if they've specialized as we do in our course, then that would probably be a guide for them as well, because they've made the decision to specialize in a particular field. So that might lead them to go into that field more than any other field. But it does not hem them in because of that broad underpinning, and in business, they can go anywhere.
Great. And one last question. I'm asking students ask too much questions also. So as we know that MBA person should be a leader also, right? So he should be a confident. He should have a he should lead the public. So what are the qualities do you think that a leader should MBA holder should be having?
That's a really good question. And one of our topics that we study is strategic leadership. And in that environment, a leader should be innovative, they should be creative, they should be honest, they should have ethical considerations for every aspect of the human environment and the world itself. They have to be transparent, and they have to be a person who can make a decision, but they can also be the person who would let others make a decision and guide them. And they need to be able to motivate and grow staff. They need to know when to step in and when to step out. They must be accessible, communicative, energetic, and above all, have the best interest of the organisation first. I hope that answers it.
Great. So these are the questions. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful guidance to the students. Now I request Mr. Nitin to please inform our students about your university as well.
Uh, Thank you, Kamal. Just can you confirm, am I visible? Can you see me through the camera?
Yes.
We can.
All right, all right. So perfect. A big thanks to Dr. Rose for explaining about the MBA course. And then, in fact, all these questions were very informative. The kind of questions were very straight and excellent answers given by Dr. Rose. And some of the answers, when I was doing a degree in my college, these were the same answers given to me by my faculties, and I'm doing really good with those answers. So really make good ground for the students to understand this and take this further. Moving on, letting the students know about the university. So just to let everybody know that we are an island state. We are the only island state of Australia. And we are the only university in the entire state, University of Tasmania. And in fact, as a matter of fact, we are based in the capital city of Tasmania, which is Hobart. For those of you who want to understand it more, because we all are, we are a cricket country. So Ricky Ponting is from Tasmania.
Oh.
I think this is how the student going to relate it more. So yeah, he is from Tasmania. We are the only university. So why I say that we are the only university a number of times, because if you come over here, the kind of competition, if you're looking, once you're done with your studies, once you are a graduate, and when you're looking for a job, the kind of competition that you have if you're looking for a job within the state, the kind of competition that you're going to have is not going to be that much. The only competition you're going to have with the students of your own batch or probably of your own university. Yes, it is a slight small place, not that big, but it's not that you don't have that much of competition over here. If you're looking for a career over here, you won't have that many difficulties in terms of finding a job. And if you are well networked, you will definitely be able to get one. We are not very far off from the airport, so when you get down, you take a taxi only 15-20 kilometers away. Sandy Bay is the place where we have the main campus, and most of the business courses are offered in the Hobart campus only. As Dr. Rose mentioned before, we have got 3 main campuses. Two of them are, that's where we do most of the teaching, Launceston and Hobart. Talking about the fee structure of the university, for most of the business courses at the postgraduate level, the fee structure is somewhere between 31 to 36, 37,000. That's where the course price ranges. We are also providing scholarship. We call it TIS, so 25% scholarship to the eligible students. And in the area of business, MBA is one of the excellent program wherein a lot of students are coming in. Along with this, we teach Masters of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Masters of Finance, Masters of Professional Accounting. Many people have started taking up entrepreneurship as a specialization and a course because we are a startup country. We're becoming a startup country, and we're getting a lot of funding from the government. So the kind of student who've been coming to us, they are the people that who want to get into a business. They want to improve their parents' business, or they want to start something of their own. And we are, again, not a lot many universities across Australia do this course, but we do that. So that's where it's one of the niche program of ours. Our business school is excellent. As Dr. Rose mentioned, our rankings are among the like the top rankings in the world, top 300 universities across the world, and top 2% universities. We are a standalone university. We started back in 18th century, so it's been a good time that we have been there. In terms of the students, we every year we get usually about 1,000 students from Indian subcontinent, and then we have got a mix of students from across the world. We got a lot of students from South America, Africa, Middle East. Yeah, so it's a very multicultural university, very student centric and very multicultural university. Going forward, how to apply? I suggest that the students can always approach you to know more about the university. If they want to speak to me, if they want to connect with the agent, we have got a link over the website wherein students can go and find an agent, an authorized representative of University of Tasmania, or else they can always, to know more about the programs, offerings, scholarships, whatever information they're looking at, they can always use university's website, which is www.utahs.edu.au. Yeah, this is over to you, Kamal. Thank you. Do you have any question for me? Any student wants to ask something?
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. We can also seek some sort of collaboration with the CGC later. We can see what programs which we can mutually work for, because we have been working with a lot of universities, international universities, and students have been going to the partner universities as well. So definitely, you have a wonderful university, and definitely students specifically from Punjab, they're interested for Australia. So we can see some sort of collaboration in some programs.
We'll talk about it in near future.
Sure. And about Dr. Rose, have you been to India?
No. Not yet. In my mind, but not yet physically.
Okay, definitely after this situation, we can invite you. It's a wonderful cultural, multicultural, colorful country.
That would be lovely.
So I think that's all. So it was a wonderful session, and definitely we can see some sort of collaboration later after we discuss the parameters. So thank you so much, Dr. Rose, for having with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Nitin. It was a wonderful time. And
thank you, Kamal. Thank you to all the students, Dr. Rose.
Thank you, Nitin and Kamal, and the students. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye. See you.
Bye.